today let us discuss what is intersubjectivity. So according to Edmund Husserl, 1859 to 1938, he defined intersubjectivity as the interchange of thoughts and feelings, both conscious and unconscious, between two persons or subjects as facilitated by empathy. So we have here Kiza and Jessa. They are best friends and they are having a conversation. So there is an interchange of thoughts and feelings. And then Kiza is aware of the existence of Jessa, and Jessa is also aware of the existence of Kiza. Now, it is facilitated by empathy. When we say empathy class, this is about understanding what other people is feeling, what another person is feeling, or putting yourself in the shoes of others. So that is empathy. Now, this is simply an example of intersubjectivity, the interchange of thoughts and feelings as facilitated by empathy. Now, let us define social versus interhuman. So when we say social, this is a group of people. For example, in a certain barangay, the people in that barangay is a social group because they have common experiences, they have common traditions, they celebrate events, the same events like fiestas, for example, and then they follow the same rules. But when we say interhuman class, this is more of the individual connections, like the life between and among persons. So it refers to the interpersonal. So that is a life of a dialogue. So your connection or your relationship with your fellow individual. So it's like individual to individual. That is interhuman. Now, let us try to define this term here, dialogue. So as you can see here in the pictures, we have two, right? So the first one, there are two people. They are having a conversation. We don't know what they are talking about, but yeah, they're having a conversation. And in the second picture class, there is a group of people. They are talking about something. So, is this an example of dialogue class? Yes or no? Yes? Now, we have to remember, class, that dialogue is not simply about talking to someone. It is not simply about having a conversation, because accordingly, dialogue is a genuine relationship between persons. Meaning to say, class, genuine, it means real, authentic. It's not fake, it's not plastic, but it is real. And it happens when two persons truly acknowledge each other's presence and treat each other as equals. Meaning to say, in dialogue, you are talking to this person, but you are not seeing this person as less, or you are not seeing him or her as inferior to you, but you see him or her as a person like you with dignity. Meaning, you see each other as equal. You see each other as persons with dignity. You treat each other as equal. There is no sense of inferiority and superiority. And of course, you acknowledge each other's presence. So you are aware of his or her existence, and he or she is also aware of your existence. You are paying attention to what he or she is feeling, and he or she is also paying attention to you. Alright? That is dialogue. Okay, now let us discuss the two kinds of relationship. This is according to Martin Buber. We have the I-it relationship, also the I-thou relationship. First is the I-it relationship. Refers to the world of experience and sensation where there are objects. The beings do not actually meet. Instead, the I confronts and qualifies an idea or conceptualization of the being in its presence and treats that being as an object. So in this kind of relationship, the other person is not treated as a subject, but rather he or she is treated as an object. A person views the other as an object to fulfill his or her desires. So in I-it relationship class, you are simply using someone. You treat a person not as a person, not as a subject, but you treat him as an object. Murag, like, you're just like a laruan for me. Laruan ka lang. Parang ganyan. So, you are using this person for your own interest, for your own benefit. So, this is, in fact, a relationship with oneself. And it is not a dialogue, because remember, in our discussion earlier, I've said that dialogue is a genuine relationship with other people, but then I-it relationship, this is not genuine, this is not real, this is a fake relationship, this is not authentic. So it is a monologue, not a dialogue. So that is I-it relationship. For example of this kind of relationship class is that oppressive employers and how they treat their workers, because there are employers who treat their workers as machines, as robots. They do not care about the well-being, about the mental health of their employees, but they are so focused about money and profit. They do not care about whatever the employees are feeling. As long as they have the money, then that's all that matters to them. So that is an example of I-it relationship. An example class, if you have this friend, or maybe you have a partner, and you can feel that this partner of yours is just simply treating you as an object and just using you, then that is not genuine relationship, that is fake. So you should go run away, girl. Now I want you to ponder on these questions here. Have you ever experienced being used by someone, treated like an object rather than as an equal human being? Or have you ever used someone for your own self-interest? Now reflect on these questions. You may answer on the comment section down below if you want to. Now let's move on to the next type of relationship, which is the I-thou relationship. This is the total opposite of I-it relationship, because I-thou relationship, this is now there are persons in I-it. That's why it's called it, because it refers to objects. But here in I-thou relationships, you are acknowledging the whole person. You are seeing him as a person, as a human being, not as an object. So this is a genuine type of relationship. This is authentic, this is real, and this is a dialogue. This is a kind of relationship class that we should have, a kind of relationship that we should nurture, because this is a very genuine kind of relationship, and it is so nice when you have someone, or when you have people around you, you know that they support you, they are rooting for your success, and it is so nice to have someone that you can genuinely express what you are feeling and you can share your problems with. So let's go build I-thou relationships. So we have here more examples about I-thou relationship, and di na natin siya i-discuss isa-isa, no? And also another example, if you have a boyfriend, a girlfriend, or a partner, or you have a best friend, for example, and then you know that your relationship with that person is real, authentic, it is not toxic, and you know that it really helps you grow and become the best version of yourself, then you should continue that kind of relationship, because that is healthy. That is an example of I-thou relationship. We have here this quotation by Martin Buber. It says, through the thou, a person becomes I. So when we say thou class, it means you. I-thou relationship, meaning I-you relationship. And this quotation simply means that a person becomes who he or she today because of the people around him. Like, I become who I am today because of the people I have a relationship with. And a human being, a person, cannot fully become a human being by being alone, but he or she becomes a real, true person by interacting with other people. Through the thou, a person becomes I. I am who I am today because of you. You know, are you getting the point? Yes, that is I-thou relationship. Now, let us move on to the obstacles to an effective dialogue. We have seeming, speechifying, and imposition. And seeming is contrasted with being. The opposite of speechifying is personal making present, and imposition is contrasted with unfolding. The first obstacle to dialogue is seeming. So it is a way of approaching the other governed by the image one desires to impress on the other. So in seeming class, a person is pretending. He or she is acting in a certain way because he or she wants to impress a person. So it involves deliberately playing up or hiding aspects of yourself. So you are being someone that you are not. You are hiding some parts of yourself, especially those negative part about yourself, because you want to impress someone. So there are people when they are in a relationship, they are seeming, they are pretending. No? Pagpapanggap lang pala ang lahat. So that is seeming. Now the opposite is seeming class is what we call being. So when we say being class, this simply means being the most authentic version of yourself, being genuine, being real. So that is being. No, it is an acceptance of the other in the way that it is also an acceptance of the self as it is. So when you are being you, your authentic self, your real self, then it means that you accept yourself. And when you accept yourself, class, including your flaws, people around you will also accept you as who you are. So you are not pretending to be someone else that you are not, but you are showing your true self. So that is being. Now, the next obstacle, class, is speechifying. It refers to one's talking past another, hearing without listening to what one says. Meaning, you are having a conversation with someone, you are talking to someone, but then you are hearing what they're saying, but you are not listening. So, pumasok sa isang tenga mo yung sinabi niya, narinig mo nga, pero pinalabas mo lang sa kabilang tenga mo. Narinig mo nga, hindi mo naman pinakikinggan. No? Naririnig ka nga, hindi ka naman pinakikinggan. So that is speechifying. Now, ano ba yung opposite ng speechifying? It's what we call personal making present. So when we say personal making present, it is a process of fully opening oneself to the other. Meaning you are making yourself available. You are making yourself present. You are hearing and listening to what the other people is saying. And you are paying attention to what he or she is saying. You avoid any distractions and you just focus on that someone that you are having a dialogue with. Alright? Now, the next obstacle, class, is what we call imposition. So, imposition, this is about controlling someone, no? Holding one's own opinion, values, attitudes, and oneself without regard for those of another. Meaning to say, imposition, you are trying to control someone. You do not have any regard about his or her preferences because yung gusto mo kasi dito sa imposition, ikaw yung nasusunod palagi. It is telling the other how he or she should act, behave, and respond to things. So here, someone is a controller. No, you are being controlled. The person is telling you that you should act this way. You should respond to the situation this way. So, parang sinasakal ka dito. Dito sa imposition, someone is trying to control you. So, there are people, class, in a relationship or individuals that they are like dictator. They are like dictator. They're like dictators. So, they want to dominate the relationship. They want to control someone. Like, okay, this is what I want, so you should do this. So that is imposition. No, imposition. Someone is trying to control you. So this is an obstacle to dialogue, class, because of course, if someone is trying to control you, then it's like they are suppressing your freedom. You don't have